Welcome back to the Stovetop. Last year I did a review on a Piñon coffee from New Mexico. I had ordered it off the internet and had it shipped in. And I said I was going to order another one to try out to kind of compare, but I never did. Well, last week I actually happened to be in New Mexico and I stopped at a winery called Heart of the Desert. It's off of Highway 54 outside of Alamogordo, New Mexico. They've got a wine tasting room in the back and a gift shop in the front. And in their gift shop I found some Piñon coffee. Now this is branded for them. Somebody else makes it and they just put their brand on there. But I thought I would go ahead and bring it home and give it a try. Now something about the Piñon nut is that it comes off of a small pine tree with a bunch of cones, and inside the cones are the Piñon nuts. They call them pine nuts. And they're supposed to be kind of sweet in flavor, but I still to this day haven't had one. You can order them off the internet and have them shipped to your home, out of state or whatnot. If they're in season, they're not cheap either. This one I actually found on the ground while hiking. There was a bird that was pecking into it, trying to get the pine nuts out of it, and I decided to pick it up and bring it home. So this to give you an idea of a cone off of a Piñon tree. Now there's not a lot of information about this coffee. It's an 8-ounce bag and it's already ground. It's really just set up for a gift shop. What it says is a true New Mexico original fragrant Piñon flavored coffee. It has fair trade organic Arabica coffee with Piñon nuts and or Piñon extract. Contains Piñon nuts. Made for Heart of the Desert. So that's really all I've got to go off of. But last time I did the video I was really struggling to describe the taste. I'm going to try to do a better job in this video, hopefully. I'll be brewing it with purified drinking water that I get from my local supplier, where I get my rock salt for my water softener. They have a refill program for their reverse osmosis water. So I'll be using that. I rinse the filter with the same water, and I'll be brewing it in Mr. Coffee on the stronger of the two settings. Let's go ahead and open up the bag. Well, I need scissors for this one too. Maybe. I'll get scissors. Okay. Oh, still not enough. I want to trim it down too low. Welcome to another episode of Watch Squib struggle with a bag. I don't want to tear it. There we go. I don't want to tear it. So it's got a medium brown color. And it's got a little bit of a chocolatey smell like the last time. Not really, a little bit sweet. Yeah, but a little bit of a chocolatey smell. So let me get this brewing in Mr. Coffee, and I'll be right back. Alright, coffee's all done brewing. I didn't brew a full pot to start off with. So let me go ahead and pour that. It's kind of a dark brown color. So while I wait for the coffee to cool, I decided to bring out a few other items I bought while I was at Heart of the Desert. Now it's easy to find if you're going north on 54, well, really north or south, I guess it doesn't matter. Look for the big heart on the side of the road, seriously. They've even got billboards saying look for the big heart. And one of the things that I bought to try out while I was there was a bottle of their wine. This is their Cabernet Sauvignon. And we'll be trying this out later. Hopefully you see a Cocktails with Squib video on that. I even got some of their wine glasses. And, of course, I went with something I knew that they had. And this is Sherry's Prickly Pear Cactus Syrup. I buy this on Amazon and have it shipped in, but they had it right there, and I figured why not pick up some, because it's always good to have that. If you haven't tried Prickly Pear Syrup, it's actually pretty good. I recommend it. I've put it in coffee. I've had it on my pancakes. It's pretty good. I haven't tried it on ice cream yet, though, but I'm not much of an ice cream person. All right, so let's go ahead and smell it first. I'm getting more of the smell like what I got out of the ground coffee beans in the bag. It's a little bit chocolatey, kind of chocolate cocoa, a little bit of sweet. None of those are all really subtle. More so subtle to me after it's brewed than in the bag. So that's something that kind of something catches my attention right off the bat, because in a lot of my coffee reviews I don't really get the same smell off the coffee as I do off the beans or when they're being ground. Okay. It's a little bit sweet, but it's also bitter. Yeah, there's a little bit of sweetness to it, not much. I mean, it's a hint, kind of in the background there, but it's kind of bitter. Let me try a couple more cups, and I'll get back with you on my final impressions. Alright, so I never made it through the first cup. I got about halfway and stopped. I just went ahead and added some. So I kind of screwed up, and I poured a partial jug of water, purified drinking water, into the coffee pot and made a small pot. And I said, well, that's fine, and then I don't have to wait as long to brew an entire pot. But in finishing off the pot and adding more water and brewing up the rest of the coffee, when I poured this second cup, I noticed that the coffee was lighter. So I'm going to go ahead and try this and just see if the bitterness kind of went away. Oh, that's a lot better. Okay, so first half cup, my screw up, the coffee was way too concentrated. This is actually much better. The bitterness has gone away, and it's kind of smooth all throughout, you know, the beginning, the middle, and the end of the coffee here. There's just a hint of the sweetness, and the piñon nut must be that taste that I get in the background that I had trouble describing in the last video. It's not bad. It's, you know, I thought, you know, in the last video I said, you know, I smelled some nutmeg to see if that was it, and it wasn't nutmeg. But this does kind of remind me, I'm going to just say what I said before, a little bit of a Highlander grog. Not as rich as a Highlander grog, but or not really the Highlander grog, but there was another grog that I had gotten from Travis P11. He had sent me, I believe it was from Blackout Coffee Company, but it was a grog, and it reminded me kind of that. And let me go ahead and have another cup. I'll wrap this up. Something else I wanted to add to the video, something else I picked up at the Heart of the Desert gift shop were these, I'm going to mispronounce it, but I've seen these in a couple videos, and every time I try to order these on Amazon, they're always out of stock. And you can get them in bigger bags too, but Anasazi beans, these are beans that you can use when you're cooking. You could make refried beans out of these, or put them in Southwestern type recipes and whatnot, and I've seen them in a couple videos, and I've been wanting to try these out, but like I said, every time I go on Amazon, they're out of stock. I want to say these were like $3 a pound. That's fairly inexpensive, but these are available at their store as well. I also went online to check, and you can order the coffee off their website. I'll include a link in the description section, and you can order the wine as well. So let me go ahead and have another cup, and I'll be back to wrap up the video. So I've had a few cups of this coffee, and I have to say that it's made me jittery. And I think that's mostly because the first cup was so concentrated. If you brew this properly, it's got a smooth taste overall. It doesn't get bitter as it gets cold. And just like the last Piñon coffee, I definitely like this. Now, I'm having trouble describing the taste, probably because I've never had pine nuts. So maybe at some point I need to order some pine nuts and have them shipped in, and either do a standalone video where I try them out for the first time, or I get another Piñon coffee and I try the pine nuts and the coffee at the same time. I'm not too sure. But I'm pretty happy with the coffee. I would recommend this to somebody. And if you happen to be doing some tourism in New Mexico, the Heart of the Desert store, or winery, is about an hour east of White Sands National Park. And if you've never been there, I highly recommend going. It's definitely something to see. It's about an hour west of Billy the Kid country, where you can see historical buildings that have been preserved, and you can actually see places where Billy the Kid was, and where some of the history and the legend was created. It's really kind of interesting. Some of these places are kind of remote, but the countryside in New Mexico is beautiful. It's definitely worth driving through, and there are places like this, like Heart of the Desert and other places, where you can pick up New Mexico wines, New Mexico coffee, and other gifts that you can have for yourself, or maybe bring back to friends and family when you get back home. So I'm going to finish up my coffee, and hopefully somewhere in the future there's another Piñon coffee review video. Thanks for watching.